Good morning, my name is Dale. I am one of the co-owners of Renegade and we run world-class surf coaching trips in some of the most progression-friendly waves on earth. We're going to be in Sumatra this January and February, and then middle of February we're going to the southern atolls of the Maldives for 6 trips, before going to the central atolls of the Maldives from April until October, running back-to-back 10-day coaching trips, the best coaching trips on earth. You can find out more about those trips in the link below. Today we're going to go through a session which is going to focus on the lower back, the glutes, the hips, this whole area here, which for many surfers, particularly as we get older, certainly doesn't get any more mobile. It's something that we need to put a little bit of time and effort into to ensure that we can pop up, rotate and feel good on our board. This would be great to do first thing in the morning like I'm doing here. It would be great to do as a warm-up before a surf, or maybe in the evening you could slow it down before bed just to get a bit of movement and mobility into this area here. You're not going to need anything. I'm going to do all the timing. You can see I don't even have a yoga mat here. You can do it just on the floor. Just find somewhere comfortable with a bit of space. Before we start, what I'd love you to do is just to see how you feel coming into this deep squat position. Now I know for many of us this won't be achievable, that's fine. It's probably going to be somewhere up here, or maybe there's a bit of knee cave or whatever. It might not be comfortable through the ankles, knees and hips to get into a deep squat like this. The reason I want you to do this is because we're going to retest. By the end of this 10 minutes, I genuinely believe you should be able to come into a deeper squat position and feel a little bit more mobile in this position. So we've tested, we're going to get into the flow. To begin with, super simple. I would love you to be either in this kneeling position like so, sat on your ankles. If this is not comfortable, please come into a tall kneeling position. We are going to get into the spine. What I want you to do is fully flex the spine as you exhale. Before inhaling, chest to the sky, and extending that spine as much as I can. To begin with, nice and slow, maybe like a 6 out of 10 effort. But as those little muscles up and down the spine erectors get warmer, we can increase the range. So now we're on rep 3. Let's try and really get chin to chest. Drop your shoulders and exhale. Then I'm going to breathe in. I bring my shoulders back to the sky. Let's go for 2 more. Find your own pace. And final one, really move that spine through as much range of motion as you can, which is essentially what mobility is. It's finding strength in a large range or through a large range of motion. Perfect. Got into the spine a little bit. We're going to come into a seated position. This movement is probably one of my favorite movements for surfers. It's a 90-90. So I need you to begin. Let's have our hands behind our back. We're going to drop both knees to the left side. Now, pretty self-explanatory, but it's called a 90-90 because I have 90 degrees in this knee, 90 degrees at this knee, and 90 degrees at the hips. So if you're kind of in this position at the minute, move one knee out, one knee away, and for some of you that might even be a deep stretch, just like this, okay? We're going to start easy, lots of weight through the hands and leaning back. Feet remain exactly where they are. Flick your knees over to the other side. Okay, so the feet do not move. You can move your hands and your body if you require. We're just going to go through this internal and external rotation of the hip. You also get a nice stretch in your lower back and your QL down the side. And for some of you, we're just going to do this for maybe 2 minutes. This will be enough, okay? For those of you who are a bit more flexible and a bit more mobile, this might feel very, very easy, but I still want you to start here. As we progress through the 90-90, I want you to start putting a little bit less weight into the hands behind you. So I'm going to attempt almost no hands there. That's what we're building up to. You might find yourself sliding a bit forward like I am. But as you get deeper into the movement, it should begin to feel a little bit more buttery, a little bit more smooth, maybe a bit less pinchy than when we started. Beautiful. I want you to stop on the left side like myself. I want you to pin your left knee down with your right hand like this. So this is locked. Come into that 90-90 position. We're going to do openers of the back hip. Really, really key for surfers, this one. I'm a regular surfer. This hip, my right hip pinches a little bit, so I need to spend some time on this. Right hand on the left knee, pin it down. All I'm going to do is open up that back knee. It's already cramping in my glute a little bit. And what I'm not doing is rotating my whole body, okay? I'm keeping everything very linear, very still, and I'm using my glute, my butt, to open up that right hip, that right knee, I should say. We're gonna go through about 10 here. Now, keep going through the flow while I talk, but with all mobility training, there should be a little bit of a grimace, a little bit of a face as you're finding that end range of motion, okay? Watch the difference on this rep. This is me at 6 out of 10. I could do this all day, okay? This is me actually finding how far my glute can contract. I can't go any further than that. And that is where progression is going to come from with your mobility training, is actually pushing the limit a little bit, okay? Progressively overloading how far you can move. Good, we're going to do 2 more because I really like these. And final one. I want you to stay in this position. I want you to move your right hand to your left foot. Left hand just to the side of your left knee, so you're in this position here. And I want you to fold over this left knee. Maybe you get your chin to chest. Maybe some of you might even get your head to the floor. Maybe some of you are here. That's absolutely fine. We're just going to spend 20 seconds in this position. Where should you feel this? It's in your left glute. And we're going to come out of that one, and we're simply going to flick over to the other side. So right knee facing forward, left knee is the one behind. We're going to repeat the process. I'm going to shuffle over. So left hand now goes on right knee. You're going to open up your left knee as far as you can, keeping that left foot on the floor, just purely externally rotating this hip. No movement through the rest of your body. Those first few, going to feel tight. Should be a little bit of a squeeze, a little almost cramp in your glute as you find as far as you can move, as far as you can rotate that hip. But as you do more reps, you should find a bit more range. Going to go through 6 more. Really push it now. Driving your left hand into your right knee really helps to stabilize. And yeah, a little bit of a squeeze on your face. It's certainly no bad thing here. Last 2. Fantastic. External rotation through the hips, which is a key function of the hips. Let's get into a little bit more stretching of the hip flexors. My favorite one for this is a hip shift. This is what I do before every surf, maybe like 30 seconds each side. I want you to come into a tall kneeling position. I want you to put your right foot forward. So you're in a 90 degrees at both knees like this. To begin, we are just going to rock forward, knee over toe. That's totally fine. Forget what you learnt at high school. That's been demythed. Get a nice stretch over this left hip flexor. Push back and rock forward. Good, you're going to find more range here through the reps as well. Then I'm going to put my foot to 2 o'clock and I'm going to come over to the side. I get a good stretch on my adductors, which is the inside of my left thigh. And I hip shift, I shift over to the side. We're then going to go forward again. Deep stretch. Two o'clock. Knee over toe, find that range. How far will the muscles around your hips allow you to go? You should get more range the more reps you do. We're going to do 2 more. Big stretch forward. Push back, rock again. Then over to the right. And the last one I will leave you to yourself. This is one, again, similarly to the deep squat, this is one that's so accessible, you can do it anywhere. If you do have tight hips, which we all do, just add this in twice a day, 30 seconds each leg. I can assure you, you will begin to see progress. Other side, left foot forward. Let's go. We're going to do 4 double reps. So really pushing forward. You might feel a difference between your hips. I certainly do. This one is my back foot on the surfboard and it's definitely tighter. Good. Then over to 10 o'clock. Knees over toes. You're essentially dropping your hips as low as you can there. Some of you will be getting way lower than me. Number 3 for me. And the last one. Beautiful, should be feeling good there. Final one before we retest our deep squat. We're actually going to be in a deep squat variation. What I should add is if you're really struggling with a deep squat, you can grab something that's around 1 centimeter or 2 centimeters, maybe a very, very thin book, and that will help you get into a deep squat position far more easily. We're going to do some deep squat hamstring raises. So deep squat, both hands on the floor. Think about keeping your belly, your stomach as close as you can to your quads. I'm trying to keep contact. I've got a really good stretch over my lower back, those muscles down at the lower back. But primarily I'm thinking about my hips here. And I'm also thinking about these long hamstrings that run down the back of the leg and a little bit of glutes as well. And as you go through the movement, we're coming into our last 4 reps of the day. Really lengthen those legs. You should be thinking about driving your knees behind you as tight as you can. I've got pretty tight hamstrings, to be fair. If you can straighten your legs, fantastic. Final 2. Oh, and you can stand up from there. So shake it out a little bit. To finish off the session, I want you to come into your squat stance, come into a deep squat, get comfortable there, see how it feels. Maybe you feel like you're in a deeper position, maybe you still feel tight, that's fine, you need to do the session more, but you should be able to feel a little bit smoother there. Shouldn't be quite as pinchy for some of you, and the more comfortable you get in this position through your ankles, your knees and your hips, the more beneficial that's going to be for everyday life and of course for surfing too. So I hope you enjoyed the session. You could repeat this, you could do more time on each exercise. Mobility training, you can do progressive overload just like normal training. You can do more each time and I'm going to teach you through that process. If you have any questions at all about our coaching trips, please feel free to check out our website below, or you can shoot us an email on info@renegadesurftravel.com. We'll get back to you within 24 hours always. Thank you so much for joining me and see you on the next one.